Hello my friends, welcome back. How are you? I hope doing okay. Are you ready for the inspiration today? We don't have many of these left. I know I have said that the last 2 times, but it's really getting down to the bare minimum. Okay, when I was a kid, I drew like Michelangelo. It took me years to learn to draw like a kid. Picasso. I love that. That was awesome. Okay, are y'all ready to see what I'm up to today? Let's do some Halloween earrings. This is a witch hat. Here is a spider web. Here are some pumpkins. Gotta have pumpkins. Here are some spooky hands. And here is a Dracula. And here are some ghosts. We have to have some ghosts. And here is a skeleton set. There's 2 on here because it makes a pair. And these, putting those together takes a lot of jump rings. But they are super cute when they're put together. Okay, and I got this pack of acetate sheets, I believe at Hobby Lobby. And I was uncertain what they're used for. I know they're not the same acetate sheets, or I wouldn't think they would be, but maybe they are, that you put over shakers. So I don't know, but I thought they were pretty, and I'm going to draw these ghosts on here and see if I can cut them out and put them inside the earrings. Okay, now I sped this up a little bit. And throughout the video, I will speed it up a little and slow it back down because it took me a while to do all of these earrings. So I tried to save on time the best that I could. And I cut out everything that I could cut out. And it still left me at 45 minutes. So I'm sorry, you guys. I know this is kind of rather long, but hopefully I can keep your attention the whole way through. Okay, here I'm mixing up some glow-in-the-dark powder. And I thought we would put that in the ghost. Now I'm mixing up some mica carbon black in this cup right here with just a little bit of resin. And let's put a little bit of resin in this cup, and let's add some of this red pigment paste. And someone was asking me if this red was really red because I had this in one of my Temu hauls. And here it is, whoever was wondering. It is very red. I love this pigment paste and I got it from Temu. Okay, we'll start with these spooky hands right here. And I'm going to put some of that glow in the dark down in first. And then drop in some black. And then go back with the glow in the dark. And I'm just cleaning it up a little bit. I got some on the outside of the mold. If anyone knows me, they know I can't stand any resin to get on the outside of my mold or on the edges. And I'm just going to go back and forth with this glow in the dark and the black until I get the mold filled. And I'm going to use my heat gun, heat that resin up a little bit, and pop any of those bubbles. And let's go back and try to top this mold off. I hope these turn out really pretty. And now I'm just going to take this skewer stick and I'm just going to move the colors around a little bit. Then I'm going to use my heat gun again. Clean my mold up. If you get any of that resin in between the fingers, you know, it'll be really hard to clean it when you demold it. Now let's go ahead and do a Dracula. Now on this one, I'm going to try to get that red right there where the teeth are at. And I'm going to drop in some of this black glitter and add it to the black. And now we're going to make the fangs red and then the rest of him glittery black. And I hope that red stays right there. And I'm just going to clean my mold up a little bit. Oh, and yesterday my video did not download until this morning, you guys. It's crazy. Our internet here was not working very good at all yesterday. So I do apologize for that. Now I'm going to take the little acetate sheets out and I'm going to put some resin in. And this is just clear resin right here. And let's add some glitter to it. And move that glitter all around in there and make sure we get it all throughout the mold. And now let's use the heat gun and pop any bubbles that we just made. And I see a few bubbles and I'm just picking them out or nudging them and scooting them to the top. Now let's put our acetate sheets in. And I sprayed it with a little bit of alcohol. And now I'm just going to push it down in there and make sure there's no bubbles underneath it. And then I'm just going to put a little bit of heat on it because I don't want to make that acetate sheet curl up. Now let's take some of that glow in the dark and put it in here. I'm sorry, that was regular resin that I put in a while ago. This is the glow in the dark right here. Yeah, this is the glow in the dark. And I'm just going to take this stick and I'm going to move it around. And I don't really like how these are looking. You can see where I cut out the eyes. And I don't like how it's looking. And I'm pretty sure if I can see it from this side with that glow in the dark being on it, then you really will be able to see it from the other side. And that's not going to be cute, you guys. So I don't know about these right here. I may end up remaking these. And I'm just going to use my heat gun and pop any bubbles. Spritz it with a little bit of alcohol. And scoot it over here. I'm just not happy with that one. Okay, let's go ahead and spray the spider web with some alcohol. And in the center of the web, I'm going to put some of that glow in the dark. And then I'm going to get the black, and I'm going to go around the web and let it make its way into the rest of the spider web. And I should have done this one first before I put that glitter in, because some of the glitter in the cup is the chunky glitter, and it's hard for it to get in between the spider web. So it's not wanting to move through the mold like it would had that chunky glitter not been in there. It's really, really creeping through the mold and taking a really long time to get through there. And I'm not having very much patience with it, you guys. It's all over the outside of the mold. I'm just going to try to take my heat gun and heat it up a little bit and see if it'll flow a little bit better through the mold, so I can try to get it filled up. But I don't want the black to go in the center because I want that to be glow in the dark. And we're also going to put a spider in the center. So I kind of want the black not to seep in that center as much, because when it glows, I want you to be able to see the spider sitting there. Or that's what I'm hoping for. We don't always get what we hope for with resin, do we? And I'm going to add a little bit more of that glow in the dark in the center to try to back that black back out of there. Let's heat it up a little bit and pop any bubbles and get that resin moving through it a little bit better, because I know that chunky glitter is making it not flow through here as it usually would. I'm going to spray a little alcohol and see if I can get it to move any faster. I'm going to put it over there to the side, and I'll add some here in a minute on the top. Let's go ahead and put some of this gold glitter in this resin, and let's make these pumpkins gold, which this may be a mistake for the idea that I have for these, but I'm going to try it and see how it looks. If it doesn't look good, then I'll remake the pumpkins too. But I think it's probably going to be too much bling for the idea that I have for the pumpkins. But we'll see. This resin is getting a little bit thicker. It's heating up a little bit, so it's not moving as it usually does. I'm hoping I can get the other two earrings done before it gets too hot. I'm going to go ahead and use my heat gun, pop any surface bubbles, and try to heat this resin up a little bit and get it to move a little bit better so that I can go ahead and fill the mold up. And once again, it does have the chunky glitter in there, and you know, that just, if you have a lot of glitter in there, which I do, that just keeps the resin from moving as, you know, as fast as it would without the glitter in there. I'm just going to use my tool here and poke that glitter down in there. Make sure it's all poked down in the resin. And then I'm just cleaning the area where the eyes are at and the mouth. Now let's move back to these ghosts right here. They are still bothering me. Can y'all see? You can see where I cut the eyes and the nose out. Let's see if we could drop some of this glitter in and see if we can hide it. Lord, I don't know how these are going to turn out. Goodness. And I'm going to take my tool and I'm going to move that glitter around in there. I don't have much room left in the mold to put much more in there. I'm trying to put the glitter where I can see where I cut out at. Let's just dump it in there, y'all. Just go for it. These are going to be terrible. Thank goodness it's spooky season, and I guess it really wouldn't matter, huh? The uglier, the better. That's what we're going to hope for anyway. Yeah, these are just, they need some help, y'all. I don't even know why I'm still messing with them. I'm just cleaning off where the eyes and the nose are. Okay, let's move along. I'm taking this Let's Resin chameleon powder in the color violet, and I'm brushing it into the skeleton mold here. And hopefully this will give us a really cute skeleton. Oh, I wanted to tell y'all, I was on Instagram day before yesterday, and one of Let's Resin's reels came by, and I stopped on it and watched it, and their chrome powders are back. So if you clicked on the reel and ordered it right then, you got 30% off of the chrome powder. So I went ahead and ordered mine right then. I forget what it gave me off. They're 20 something dollars, maybe $26, something like that. And like I said, I got 30% off. So I got those. And then I also seen where, remember the 3-tier tray that I done in the alcohol inks, the metallic alcohol inks a while back? Well, remember you couldn't get the frame for that. You had to buy another whole kit. Well, now Let's Resin has the frames to purchase for those 3-tier trays, in case anybody didn't know about that. I've known about it for a while now, but I just didn't remember to tell you guys. But I just found out about the chrome powders being back day before yesterday. Okay, now I have another Halloween mold out for earrings, and we're going to drop in some of this Finnabair orange into some resin here. And I'm going to add some more resin to it and go ahead and stir it up. We have some black up there, and I'm going to take this pretty purple that definitely reminds me of Halloween. And then we're going to drop in some of this holographic purple glitter and stir that up really good. Add a little bit more resin to it and stir it up. Now I'm going to take my Cast and Craft white and add it to this cup right here and stir that up. And I have this part sped up. We're going to spray some alcohol in the mold and go ahead and drop that black into where we put the Let's Resin chameleon powder in at. And I will do that other skeleton over there. To save time, I only done one with you guys, because there's a lot of pieces to that skeleton. And they're really small, you know, so you have to be careful or you'll overfill the mold. And it doesn't look cute if you overfill the skeleton's pieces. Now I'm going to spray some alcohol right here in these ghosts, and we're going to drop in this Cast and Craft white, and I did add glow in the dark powder to this as well. So these ghosts will glow. I believe they're going to glow blue. I'm going to spray a little bit more alcohol on them. And now we're going to drop in this purple. And these are the little flowers that go on the ghost go on like the ghost is, like the front of the ghost. And then there's two bigger flowers there. I don't know if you can tell, but we're going to put those up at the top of the ghost on the hardware. Now there's some more ghosts over here that look a little bit different than those. And we're going to use the orange on them. And then they also have some little tiny flowers. So we're going to do those in black. Their flowers don't go on the top, on the front of them. Their flowers go on the bottom of them. They'll be dangling down at the bottom. And I'm going to do these little princess crowns right here. And we'll put them on the orange ghost too. And then these hearts right here, I'm going to drop in the white with the glow-in-the-dark powder in it. And then there's a heart over here that I'm filling now with the purple. And it says skulls. Or skull. You really can't read it right now. But when you put it on top of that white heart, you'll definitely be able to tell what it says. And now I'm just cleaning my mold up. Getting the excess resin off. All those little bits were hard to fill up because a lot of them are really tiny. So I just overfilled them and brushed it off. It was a whole lot easier that way. Now I'm just using my heat gun, heating them up, popping any surface bubbles. And I'm going to spray a little bit of alcohol. Now we are to my favorite part of all. Let's demold our earrings. Here's the skulls I was telling you about. I'll put them on the hearts here in a minute and you can see. See, it says skull. And you can really read it when you put it on top of that. And that heart should glow in the dark. It should. I've never used that glow-in-the-dark powder before that I used here. And I don't even know where I got that glow-in-the-dark powder from. I didn't even know that it was glow-in-the-dark powder. But I kind of thought that it was, you know, because it has that kind of sandy texture to it. So I took it out in the hall and cut the light off. And yeah, it's glow-in-the-dark. But I have no idea where it came from. And here's those orange ghosts. And I put those little princess crowns on their heads. And then the little flowers go on the bottom of them. And just dangle there. And then we have these extra little flowers. And I may put that as the ghost mouth. As the ghost's mouth. I think that would be too cute. And then here's the little white ones. And we'll outline its dress in black. Where those lines are at. And here's the big flowers. And we're going to put those up here on the hardware. And then we'll put the little purple flowers around its dress. I think it has 5 flowers each for the dress on the ghost. I call it a dress because it looks like a dress. Those are so cute. Now here's the spooky hands, and they glow in the dark too. They turned out really neat. I don't know what that resin done and the colorant in there, but they look super cool. I can't wait to see those glow in the dark. And then here's the pumpkins. And like I said, they came out super blingy. And I really don't think my ideal for them is going to work. Here's the Dracula. I do not like them either. The red did not move as I thought it would. And we have a bubble on one of Dracula's teeth. He cannot bite anyone with a chipped tooth. So I'm definitely going to have to do those over. And here's those ghosts, and they are a hot mess. They look terrible. So I don't know what I don't know. See, you can see where I cut out the acetate sheet. So I'll do those over. Okay, here's our spider webs, and I am super happy with them. They turned out really cute. The white is right where I want it to be, and we'll put our little spider right there. And I had the extra black left over with the glitter in it, so I just went ahead and dropped it in these hats. I really wanted to do the hats like a purple and black, but I had that resin left over and I didn't want to waste it. Here's our skeleton with the Let's Resin chameleon powder on it and violet, and they turned out so stinking cute. I can't wait to put those together. I'm just going to piece it, you know, like how it goes down here so y'all can kind of see. It has a lot of pieces to him, I'm telling you. And every piece you see has to have a jump ring in it. And there he is. Oh, he's got one more hand to go. Right there. That's a lot of pieces. And there's both of them. So now let's get... Oh, and I was just going to share this with y'all. It was extra resin that I had left over. I've never cast in this mold before. I got it free with some mold that I ordered. And I put some flowers in there in the chest, but you really can't see them. But this was just leftover resin. It's a pretty big skeleton. And then I guess you glue the joints together right there. And then here's the other, that's the hand. It has a little, like an area where you can put the joint in there and glue it. He's pretty big. Okay, now let's go ahead and decorate our earrings and put them together. For the spooky hands, I'm going to go with this J. Diction UV resin and give them that gloss on top of them. And then we'll find something like maybe a spider or a ghost or a witch or something to put on the top part of the hand. And I'm just moving that UV resin around the hand, making sure I get it covered, the whole hand covered, before I stick it under the curing lamp. Now let's cure it up. And there it is. Now let's pick something out to go on the hand, like the palm part of the hand. I think I like these spiders here. They turn colors when you turn them. It looks like they go from maybe a red to an orange to maybe a purple. They're super fun. So we'll go ahead and take this UV resin and I'm going to drop it over the spiders and lock them in, cure them up, and then we'll put something else on the hands to decorate them. And I'm just making sure I get that spider covered in the UV resin. And make sure I don't leave any bare spots, because you will be able to see it if I do. What does everyone think the difference is between the J. Diction high viscosity UV resin and the Let's Resin UV resin, the clear hard type? What do you think, your experience, if you've used them both, what do you think the difference is to you? Let me know if someone's used both of them and what your thoughts are on them. Now I'm going to put a little bit of glue on my mat here, my silicone mat, and then I'm going to dab a little bit of glue on the tip of each of the fingers. And then we're going to put one of these crystals on the tips of the fingers. I'm trying to find the size that I want. I think this size looks good right here. We have got to bling these hands up. Now I'm going to take those crystals and I'm going to go down the middle finger and give them a little bit more bling. I think that is super cute. Okay, there it is. What do you think of that? I think that is cute. And there's both of them. So now all we have to do is put the hardware in them. Now let's work on our spider webs. I think this spider right here will be perfect for our web. Right there. Now he needs some red eyes. These spiders on here have red eyes, but there's a couple of pair on there that don't have red eyes. So we're going to have to put our own on there. So I thought I would get these right here and glue 2 of these on the spider. I could have borrowed 2 off of the other spiders, but I didn't want to mess them up and I didn't know how hard they would be to come off. So I thought we'd just grab something similar to it in my craft room, and I think that looks perfect. Now I'm going to take this UV resin and I'm going to put it over the spider and the rest of the web and go ahead and put it in the lamp and cure it up. And I'm just going to take my stick here and move that UV resin all around the web and make sure I get the whole web covered in UV resin. Now let's cure it up and take a look at it. And there they are. I think they turned out so cute. Let's look at them glowing in the dark. Look, you can see the spider in the middle of the web. Just like I wanted. They turned out so cute. And that's the hands. Now let's work on our ghost here. I'm going to put some of this black paint in the creases right here on its dress or its costume, whatever you know, whatever you think it is. I'm going to say it's dress. Or its sheet. There we go. On its sheet. And then I'm going to let that dry, that paint dry. And now we're going to grab our ghost over here, the orange ones that we done in the Finna Bear. And I'm going to take some of this glue here and put it in the creases of the ghost. And I'm wiping the excess off. And then I'm going to take this glitter and put it over that and bring out those creases right like that. And I'm just going to dust off the excess and I'm going to let that dry. Now I have the hardware out and we're going to go ahead and start putting our earrings together. And we're going to start with the skeletons and I put them together. Now we're going to put them some crystals on their eyes and make their eyes blingy. I think that is so cute. And the hardware is silver, and it just matches. It looks really cute together. Aren't those cute? Now let's take our ghost here that we put the black on to bring out the lines in its sheet. And we're going to scrape it off because it comes off super easy. And I just use a popsicle stick to do that with. It doesn't take no amount of energy to do it. You don't need no oomph to do it either. Just cruise it right on across there and it comes right off. And then I'm going to take a little alcohol wipey and I'm just going to wipe over the top of it. And then I thought we might use these little flowers right here to go on the tops of these earrings, but they don't match. I didn't put enough purple in there to make them dark enough, so I decided not to use them. Now let's go ahead and decorate our little ghost up. I'm going to put some UV resin on them. And that's going to protect our paint that we put on there. And then we're going to drop their little purple flowers on them and cure them up. And I'm just going to place them where I think they look cute at. There's really no specific place to put them. Just wherever you like them at. I'm going to scoot that one in there and let it cure while I work on the other one. They look indifferent. Let me fix that right there. Now they look the same. Let's cure them up. Here's the ghost that I made, that I remade. And I think they look cute. They look kind of like a candy corn. Here's the pumpkins that I redone. And they turned out cute. And here's a Dracula that I redone. And they look so much better. And then I had extra resin left over, so I just chunked it in that mold. Here's our ghost. They look super cute. Now let's put them together. Put the big flower up top there and close it up. And there it is. Aren't they cute? Now let's get these orange ones done. I decided against the UV resin because it was going to get in my little holes down there and I need to put the hardware in there first. So I'm going to put a little dab of UV resin up here and we're going to put their little princess crowns on them and then cure them up. Now we'll get them out. There they are. They look so cute. Now let's get the hardware on the bottom of them and put their little bottom part on them. How's everyone doing today? I hope everyone's doing okay. We are almost finished, you guys. If y'all have stuck with me through this video, you are so awesome. And I appreciate it so much. Here it is, and I think they turned out so cute. They still need something else, though. No, maybe they're good. I think we'll leave them be. We put their little nose on, and I think that's what they're missing. Yep, that's exactly what was missing. There we go. Let's cure that up, and we're finished with those. So cute. Now, here's the pumpkins, my ideal for them. I'm going to put some glue up top on the stalk here of the pumpkin. And then we're going to put some of these blingy crystals on the stalk. And I don't think that would not have looked good had we put that on top of the gold blingy ones. So that's why I went ahead and remade them in this orange, so I could show you all my idea for putting the crystals on the stalk. I think it turns out really cute, and it's going to give them just something extra cute to make them look just so stinking cute, you guys. I'm trying to, I think I've got too many on there. Yeah, there's too many on here. I'm going to have to take some of them off. Yeah, there's too many on here. The 3 on the bottom, I'm taking those off. Here we are. Now that's right. Now that looks cute. Now let's go ahead and work on our candy corn looking ghost here. I'm going to put a little bit of glue on the back of some of these crystals and then put them on their eyes and their nose. Right like that. Isn't that cute? Now they need something else. Let's look through my box here and see if we can find a cute bow to put in their hair. How about that one? Let me see if I can find another one to match that bow. If I can't, we might have to go with this other bow to the right here. Oh, I found one. Woohoo! There we go. Let's get them on the ghost, and that is just going to make them look like a princess. Let me get them glued on here. Now let's check them out. What do you think? And here's the Dracula ones. They turned out so cute. Here's all of my earrings, you guys. So, what do you think about them? Do you like them? I hope this inspired someone. Let's take a look at my mistakes here. Here's the orange ones. And they just, I don't like them at all. What do y'all think about those? And then here's the Dracula. And I just, they did not look good at all. You know, there's the bubble right there on one of the teeth. And let's compare it to the new ones I done. See the difference? And now let's take a look at these. Here's the pumpkins. And see, the crystals would not have looked good on the stalk. So that made a big difference to redo them in orange and then put the crystals on the stalk. And then here's the ones that glow in the dark, the spiders, the hands, the skull hearts, and then the ghost with the purple flowers on them. We have reached the end, my friends. Thank you for hanging out with me. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. And I will see you tomorrow. God bless you. Goodbye, my friends.